بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
All the politicians in the world, all the presidents of the world, all the prime ministers of the world, all the senators of the world, all the ministers of the world, all the congressmen of the world, come and debate with me that Islam is the best system for every human being. And I am saying that, I am claiming here, I can defeat them all by the will of Allah. Because Islam is the best system for every human being. ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا ومن يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وقال الله تعالى إن الدين عند الله الإسلام وقال الله تعالى هو الذي يرسل رسوله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره المشركون. Move forward, inshallah. Move forward. All move forward, inshallah. Our topics tonight is Islam is the best system. And inshallah we will be going to have many series for this because it's a very important topic. I think the brother Salim Gimba and Abdul did not speak for this topic. I actually informed them, but maybe they were not prepared. So inshallah the continuation of the program will be for several weeks. We are going to present Islam to the world that their systems are false. Their systems are failure. Before the claim came from the communist that the communism is the best system. Today the claim is coming from the secularist or those who are claiming to be a secular governments, democratic governments, and they have a system of economic is capitalism. All those systems are failed today. They cannot solve the problems of the world. Those man-made laws are nothing but delusion. They are nothing but deception. They are nothing but destruction. If we see the world today, with the external eye, then we can think maybe that's the best world today. But if you have open eyes, you are not blind, your heart is not blind. Internally you are not blind, and if you see the world with the internal eye, then you will say, today is the worst world. We are living in the worst world. Not the best world, but the worst. The worst is the superlative form of bad, pangit, or ugly. We are living in the worst kind of world today. It looks like very nice. High-rise buildings, cars, buses, airplanes, and so many more luxuries we can see, the malls, the big markets, and everything we can see in the world today, which seems to be very nice. The food we are eating today is corrupted with chemicals, with pesticides, with fertilizers. The people looks very healthy, but if you know the statistics of the world, then you will realize the world is in trouble today. For example, one of the statistics which I was just seeing a while ago, according to 1999, 13 years ago, the 3 billion people of the world, 3 billion, half of the population, 1999, 3 billion people of the world were infected with STD, sexually transmitted disease. 3 billion people of the world infected with STD, sexually transmitted disease. That is 1999. What about 2012? How many people are infected with sexually transmitted disease? The number one sexually transmitted disease is HIV/AIDS. HIV/AIDS is the number one sexually transmitted disease. There are more than 40 million people are infected every year. 40 million, 40 million. People are getting infected with HIV/AIDS every year. And there are more than 3 million deaths only with HIV/AIDS. Because they cannot solve the problem, Islam can solve. Because Islam gives you the clean life. Cannot have the illegal sexual relations, which is the cause of the sexually transmitted disease, including the HIV/AIDS. Homosexuality, which is prohibited in Islam. There is one of the major cause of STDs, HIV/AIDS and other sexually transmitted disease. Just while ago I see the global issues. 21,000 children are dying every day. 21,000. 21,000 children are dying every day. 21,000 children, including the infants. So means to say 8 million children are dying because of the poverty, because of the hunger, because of no medication, because of the so many abuses. 21,000 children are dying every day. Means to say 4 seconds, every 4 seconds, one child is dying. Every minute, 15 children are dying in the world today. 15 children dying in the world today because of the injustices. Islam gives the solution for everything. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, surely the way of life, the deen, which is mistranslated as religion, but the right translation, the way of life, the system of the life, the law for the life, the law for the mankind, the law for the world, the law for the land. The law to solve the problem is only with Allah, is only the Islam. The Islam is the complete way of life. Islam is the system of life. Islam is the guidance. Islam is the solution. Islam is the law. Islam is the legislation. Islam is the government, in which Allah is the ruler, in which Allah is the king, in which the law of Allah must be implemented on the humankind, on this earth, not the law of the men. Because the man-made laws are false. The man-made laws are deceptions. They are distractions. The biggest problem in the world today is not the poverty. The biggest problem in the world today is depression. The more people are making suicide, killing themselves, patay sarili nila, not because of poverty, but because of depression. 20 million people, they attempt to suicide every year, according to the UN report. And there are confirmed 2.7 million people are killing themselves. What can be the worst than that? That a man, he take his own life. He don't want to live anymore. He has no reason to live anymore. He don't like to live anymore, even though he is very rich man. The people who are making suicide in the world today, the most of them are the rich people, not the poor people. There are many poor who take their lives. And before taking their lives, they kill their families. Because they don't want to left behind with poverty. But the most of the people who make suicide in the world today, they are very rich people. For example, the king of the pop, who is this? Elvis Presley. He made suicide. He was the richest man, one of the richest man in his time. He was the most famous man in his time, Elvis Presley. 37 years old, he killed himself with the drugs. The Marilyn Monroe, the one of the most famous actress in her time, Hollywood actress, she killed herself. One of my friend, the Korean, he told me that I'm right. He said, the daughter of the Samsung company in Korea, very rich, she killed herself. Recently, a footballer, Mr. Ken, in Germany, the goalkeeper in football, he's very rich man, he's earning millions of dollars every year, he killed himself. Only few examples. Millions of people are making suicide. Which country is considered as the richest country in the world today? Which country? Japan. Which country the most suicide in the world today? Japan also. The richest country in the world? Japan. Most suicide in the world? Japan also. Hundreds of people are making suicide every day in Japan. And one of the method of suicide making in Japan, to jump from the window. So today the government in Japan, they ban no windows in the building now. They don't allow them. If you are engineer, you are architect, you are making a building, no windows allowed. The windows must be closed, cannot open. Because that is one of the method, they jump from the windows and kill themselves. Harakari, they called it suicide. Why? Because this solution is not in their system, but the solution is in Islam. The Islam is the solution. I challenge all the politicians in the world, all the presidents of the world, all the prime ministers of the world, all the senators of the world, all the ministers of the world, all the congressmen of the world, come and debate with me that Islam is the best system for every human being. And I am saying that, I'm claiming here, I can defeat them all by the will of Allah. Because Islam is the best system for every human being, for whole world. I challenge to President Obama, come and debate with me inside the Washington, inside the White House. I will defeat you because your system is false, but Islam is truth. I challenge it, and I'm going to post it in the YouTube. That's my challenge to President Obama. Come and debate with me. I will defeat you by the will of Allah, because Islam is the system given to us by the Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The system you have is the man-made system. The democracy is innovated in France. That was the production of French Revolution, which was adopted by British and America. And it was introduced in the world today. Even the Muslim countries, most of the Muslim countries, they call themselves democratic countries or republic countries. That's why you cannot see any goodness there. You will see all troubles all around the world because they are following the man-made laws. The definition of democracy is the complete submission to the will of the people, which is even not true, because only the few people are going to dictate. The rest of the people will be slaves. But the definition of the Islam is the complete submission to the will of the Creator. Complete submission to the will of God Almighty Allah, who created us, who created the universe. Tagapaglikha. What's the difference now? Islam is the complete submission to the will of Allah. The democracy definition, complete submission to the will of creation, to the will of the people, which is not even true. The people are suffering. In the democratic law, the most of the people are suffering, only few people are prosper. Prosper look like prosper, but internally they are dead. Those people who are abusing people and they show themselves they have a big cars and big houses and so many guards and they are VIP and they have a protocol, but internally they are destroyed. Internally they are nothing. They are walking dead people. You can call dead men walking because they don't have the sukoon. They don't have the calmness. They don't have the tranquility. They don't have the peace of mind and heart. And they can never get it. Only Islam can give. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Allah bi dhikrillahi tatma'innal qulub. Surely only with the remembrance of Allah, the hearts can achieve the tranquility, the itminan, the sukoon, the calmness. There is no other way to get it. Not with the money, not with the fame, not with the treasures of the whole world, not with the gold and silver, not even the mountains of gold and silver, not with anything. The tranquility will come to your heart by the remembrance of Allah. If you remember Allah, tranquility will come. The best of the remembrance is La ilaha illallah. Say La ilaha illallah. There is no God except Allah. There is no legislator except Allah. There is no ruler except Allah. There is no one who can give us the profit and loss except Allah. There is no one who can provide us except Allah. There is no one who can give us the life and death. The one who gave us a life, there is no one except Allah. And then who can take our lives? No one except Allah. The La ilaha illallah is unlimited. You cannot tafsir for La ilaha illallah for all the life. La ilaha illallah is unlimited. There is no Lord except Allah. There is no giver except Allah. There is no taker except Allah. So we have to remember Allah, and we can get the most important thing is calmness, tranquility, peace of heart and mind. Which people does not have, even they are very rich people. And mostly rich people are making suicide in the world. So I challenge the world people, and this our topic will continue for several weeks, that Islam is the best system. So Islam, and what's the opponent today? Democracy. Democracy. Democracy implemented in Argentina. Few years ago, in Argentina, 5 presidents were changed in 1 week. In 1 week, 5 presidents. And what the new president will come there? Nothing. Another corruption. Next election, another corruption. The elections are responsible for billions of dollars in the world every year, billions of dollars, which can spend to the poor for their food. But election can bring no change. When the Bush was the president, he made lots of destruction in the world, bloodshed, killing innocent human being. When Obama come, it's still the same. It's still the bloodshed, no change. It's still killing of human beings, innocent human beings. Islam condemned that. We Muslims, we condemn killing of innocent human being. Either they are Muslim, either they are Christian, Hindus, Buddhists, or anyone. Islam condemns no killing of innocent human being. It is prohibited in Islam. Allah said in the Quran, the moralist meaning of that, the killing of one innocent human being is equivalent to killing of whole mankind. And saving the life of one human being is equivalent to saving of whole mankind. So Islam is for life. Islam is not for killing. Islam is against terrorism. Islam is against killing of innocent human being. So I challenge here to the whole world, for any other system, they want to come and debate with me. Islam is better than democracy. Islam is better than communism. Islam is better than capitalism. Islam is better than any system. And I can debate it with Quran. The source will be the Quran. The source will be the Hadith. And source will be the logic. The source will be the statistics. The source will be the scientific facts. Islam can prove. We can defeat them. I challenge President Obama to debate with me, and I'm going to put this challenge on the net. I'm willing to debate with President Obama, with Prime Minister David Cameron of British, or the President of France, Sarkozy. Come and debate with me. You are going to be lost with me to debate, because I have a truth, the word of Allah. I have the truth, the religion, or the right words, the way of life, Islam. Because I am representing the Islam, which is the system of Allah, the system given by the Creator. The system you have is a system made by men. Men-made laws, man-made system, which only make destruction. If the France is saying that the French Revolution was introduced the law or the system of democracy, which is a failure. For example, I have one statistics for the France. They boast about democracy. Few years ago, there was a protest about the labor in France. And in one day, 15,000 cars were burned. Why those people burn 15,000 cars if the law is good, if the law is helping? For example, the statistics in America. While ago I checked the statistics which has come from FBI or the other organizations in America. 9 million property crimes in every year in America alone. 9 million. 9 million property crimes in America. Can you imagine 9 million property crimes? What are the property crimes? Robbery, stealing, theft, burglary, cheating, stolen IDs, etc. And 1.2 million violent crime. Violent crime, murder, assault, etc. 1.2 million violent crime in America. If your law is good, if your system is good, then why you have this kind of problem? According to statistics in America, according to FBI and Department of Justice, only 14% American women, they report the rape. Only 14%. 86% women, they don't go to report because it's a wasting of time. And if you are going to compute the statistics, in America there are more than 1 million rape in a year. More than 1 million rape. Can you imagine 1 million rape? 1 million rape in a year means to say more than 3,000 rapes a day. 3,000 rapes a day. That's terrible. 3,000 rapes in a day in America. And they say their law is good. They say the democracy is good and they want to impose the democracy on the people. When I say the definition of my definition of the democracy is demonstrate to be crazy. You have to be crazy. Where the law allows you, where the law allows a man marry a man, even the animals doesn't do that. Even the animal, male animal is not going to the male animal, but looking for a female animal. But in America, in Spain, in Canada, in many more countries, democratic countries, they are allowing marriage between men to men. What you get after that? More and more disease. The total population of America is 300 million. 300 million people in America. And among the 300 million people, more than 200 million people are infected with STD, sexually transmitted disease. And they have only one solution: come to Islam, implement the Islam. If the man or a woman make adultery, lashes to them. Mi'ata jilda. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Mi'ata jilda, 100 lashes. Will never do the adultery again. The Prophet Muhammad said, if you see a man lying with another man, kill them both. Because if you're not going to kill them both, they will produce STDs, sexually transmitted disease, HIV/AIDS. Prophet Muhammad said, if you see a man lying with the animal, kill them both. There is one of the theory that the disease of HIV/AIDS was originated from Africa, but the counter theory is because American soldiers were doing the sex with the monkeys in African jungles, and that was the cause of the spread of HIV/AIDS. Because having a sex with the animal can bring out so many diseases, and of course HIV/AIDS, which is the terrible disease. I want to include also something very important which is related now. Here in the Lopez, the people are living, for example, in Silverio village or around the area in Sukat. The people are living there for many years, maybe even 50 years, 30 to 40 years. But these are very poor people. They cannot go to give some bribe, they cannot go to spend money to make title. But they are living there. That's their land. The law of Allah, Islam. When you go to any land and it is not owned by anyone, if you build your house, you are the owner now. That's the law of Allah. That's Islam. If you go to any part of the world, any island, any area, desert, mountain area, any jungle, forest, anywhere you go and you see the land, the piece of the land, nobody owns that, nobody lives there, nobody is occupying that. You build your house, that's your land. Allah give you the title in the Quran. You have a title here in the Quran. Because Allah said, Allah make the earth for the human being. That's for us. We are human, that's our land. We don't need any title for that. Allah give us a title here. Allah give us a license here. But the laws of the man are abusing. You are the people, poor people, you cannot spend money for the title. Now a rich man will be greedy. He will be greedy. He say, I can get this land because no title yet. So even though you live there for 100 years, your forefather lives there for hundreds of years. Now this rich man will give the money to the city hall and he say, make the title to my name. I will grab the land. And he will grab the land. And he will make the demolition there. He will kick them out, get out from here. Because you have no money, so you are the filthy animals. I will get the land now. This injustice, not allowed in Islam. In other laws, the man-made laws, it's allowed, not allowed in Islam. Because Islam protects. So that is one of the system. Those people, they must come to Islam. The Islam can give them justice. And we recommend those people who are imposing this injustice system, they should get this system of justice from Islam, because Islam gives us justice. Islam solves the problems. If ever they required a title, because this land has no title and they wanted to make the title, the priority must be the people who live there, no one else. No one else has the right except those people who are living there. Because they are living there for 100 years, 50 years. No one has right to kick them out. When I bought the land in Mindanao, 11 hectares, there were tenants living there. I negotiated with them. I said, I want to buy the land, but I will not kick you out. I will give you 1 hectare so you can live continuously. Because if I'm going to get from them without giving them anything, without their permission, without arrangement with them, that will be injustice. Because they are living there. So I agree with them, I make them happy, I give them 1 hectare, no problem. Because no injustice in Islam. We can see today, the world is full of injustices. The capitalism is producing the injustices. The rich is getting more rich and the poor is getting more poor. The banking system is full of riba. They lend the money only to the rich people. The rich people will give to another rich, another rich, another rich. When it will come to the poor, that will be 500% markup. So poor will get more and more poor. The poor will get the filthy poor and rich will get the filthy rich. No balancing. Islam gives the circulation of wealth. With no riba, with the fair economical laws, plus the charities. 2.5% on the total value, the total wealth of every rich person in the world, 2.5%. If it will be get from the people in the world today,